and that they were running a honey trap operation in order to gain blackmail. So he gives a much more detailed interview to Whitney Webb that you should read. And again, that link is down below. So if all of this is true, and she is in fact an agent who was working on behalf of Israel to gain blackmail for influence, this leads us to more questions and some more theories. I think one big question that a lot of people are going to be asking now that she's been arrested is she still loyal to Israel? Well, I guess we're going to find out, because if no, then she's probably a walking dead woman and will end up in a similar fashion as Jeffrey Epstein. But if yes, then her arrest actually might have been planned, and these alleged get out of jail free sex tapes could also be means for further blackmail. So if the reports were true that Ghislaine Maxwell was hiding in Israel in safe houses, perhaps at that point a plan was hatched that she would eventually get back to the United States, where she would be tucked away in her big nearly 200-acre lot mansion, where she would eventually be found at the proper time and arrested, held, and then she would be able to use these tapes, not all of the tapes. Now, she doesn't have to tell you about all the tapes. She can tell you about some of the tapes and not all of the tapes. And she could use these tapes and start implicating people and start outing people and start ruining lives as a means to blackmail those who are still in a position of power, whom the Israeli government potentially still has blackmail on. The reason why this would make a lot of sense right now, and why she would surface right now, is because if you've been paying attention to what is going on currently in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, then it's all making a lot of sense. Benjamin Netanyahu, for one, is in big trouble. He's facing a lot of charges. He's been indicted on a lot of criminal charges. His tenure as prime minister in Israel is very shaky. In order for him to gain the public support, he has been threatening to annex more land away from the Palestinians. So he actually threatened recently to annex a third of the West Bank from the Palestinians. In fact, it is the part of the land that is responsible for half of the Palestinians' agriculture